guys, Sri Lanka and Sammy. Welcome to today's vlog on an overcast Sunday afternoon. Well, not even Sunday afternoon, it's like 11 o'clock in the morning. And it is so refreshingly cool. Well, not cool, but not bloody hot. Oh, there's an airplane taking off there. One time when I was flying out of Colombo Airport, I stopped and I asked the pilot at the front. He was standing there and I asked him, you know, can I ask you a quick question about flight routes? He says, sure. He says, who decides when you make your turn after takeoff? He says, well, we decide, but we have to follow certain rules. I said, okay, because when you make your turn, you fly directly over my house while you're accelerating. And I said, especially at 12:30 in the morning. He says, oh, the Auckland flight. And I'm like, yeah. And he laughs. And I said, you know, who decides that? And he says, well, we have to follow certain rules, right? And I said, oh, okay, I understand. If you went like, not even like 2 minutes further out, when you make your turn, you wouldn't pass over my house. And he laughs. He laughs. I thought it was hilarious, but yeah. Anyway, today we're going to talk about what are the tips and that I can offer you to retire. Okay, based on my experience. I'm a Sri Lankan citizen, Canadian citizen, semi-retired in Sri Lanka, working online. I'm 56. So these are my tips and tricks that I have done to help me retire. Follow me right after this. All right, guys. So everyone is talking about retirement, but I want to pass on to you guys what I have done to retire. So first of all, I want to say thank you for joining. Please click the link down below, support the channel. If you like what I'm doing, please subscribe, like, comment. If you make a comment, that will really help the algorithm send my channel out to other people like you and help me. All right, I truly appreciate it. If you really want to support the channel, watch a commercial all the way through. I'm monetized, so that'll help. And if you really, really like it, sponsor me by clicking the link and buy me a coconut. So everyone talks about retirement, and you should save your money and do this and do that and blah blah blah. Now, I'm not an expert, in no way close to being an expert. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm going to share with you what I have done. Okay, first thing, don't get married. Don't get married. It is so expensive because 52% of marriages end in divorce, and all that money is lost. I could have retired at 45 had I not divorced. But had I not divorced, I would have not been living this lifestyle. I would have probably been dead by now from a heart attack or stroke because of my lifestyle. So coulda, woulda, shoulda, but marriage is expensive. Kids, doubly so. Having kids, bro, take care of your finances before you have kids. Okay? Before you have kids. It's truly important. That's the only way to do it. Now, the next thing as well is I just noticed in that car, the kid is sitting in the front seat, the toddler with no seat belt, no car seat or anything. It's freaking stupidness, man. Let me tell you. Like, you get a driver's license and all sane thoughts escape your brain. So the second thing that you have to prepare for is sacrifice. And let me explain sacrifice to you. There's two that you need to do. Number one is you need to sacrifice early on in your life. Okay? You need to sacrifice all of this stupid crap that you buy. Stop being materialistic. If, you know, no flashy car, apartment, no handbag, luxury goods. Those are just stupidness that you can't afford. It's not going to give you any long-term pleasure. Okay, short-term. You need to think long-term. You need to think in your 20s and 30s. You need to think 50 to 80 years. Okay, is a car going to give you 50 to 80 years of pleasure or satisfaction? No, but an investment fund will. It's the gift that keeps on paying. A handbag or a car 5-10 years. A handbag, 5-10 years. That's it, before you have to buy another one. Because, you know. And same thing with electronics. Don't buy the latest and greatest. Buy the second or third generation. Much cheaper and still does the same job. And for all intents and purposes, it looks exactly the same. The recent political situation and what I saw online is that China is now, if you guys have noticed this, is saying, you know, those luxury handbags and clothes that you guys are buying for $5,000, $20,000 cost, you know, a few $100s for us to make. And then it's sent over, and then they add the tags and everything like that. And then it says it's like made in France. It's a, you know, it's manufactured and then assembled in France. But it's not made in France. It's made in China. So they said, contact us and you'll get the same one directly. They're doing a lot of cleaning up ahead. Let me tell you something. The grass and the trees and the stuff here, they grow like you won't believe. So let me shut this off and join back in just 1 second. Hey guys, Sri Lankan Sammy, thanks for joining. I want to take a quick moment and talk to you about the channel. I really appreciate you taking the time to support the channel, clicking like, sharing, and commenting. But I need to ask you for a little bit of help and helping me get the channel up and running a little bit better. Please click the link down below if you want to support the channel and buy me a coconut. What I will do is I will match the dollars and I will go out and buy fresh fruit and vegetables from local farmers on the roadside. You guys have seen me do that before. I'll continue doing that by supporting the local economy. Passively, if you would like to, you can just watch a commercial. I am monetized, so if you watch an ad all the way through, a couple, that would really help the channel. And even more so, click the link of the ad and let it pop up on your computer. Leave it open for a few minutes. That would really help the channel passively. And one last thing, if you could please just put a comment, an emoji, one word saying hello, saying hi, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays, Happy Vesak, Happy Poya, whatever it is, whenever it is, I truly appreciate it. Sri Lankan Sammy, loving you all. We'll see you all on the other side. So I was just joking with the guy standing there. I said, in 3 days it's going to be back, and they all laughed. He said, yeah, it's going to be back in 3 days. It's so lush and so humid. One of the things I noticed about Sri Lanka is that even with the rain and the ground being ground, like not concrete like a city, the water still collects because the ground is so saturated with water. We're not a dry climate. Our land is very arid, not arid, very lush. So, I mean, if you guys look over here, this was cut just a few weeks ago, and look at it today. Look at that. It's all growing back. Like, can you try? I remember trying to grow grass in South Korea at my friend's house, right? And it was months to try to grow grass. Here it's just growing like weeds. I don't know what else to say. It just grows so quickly and it encroaches on the road. I mean, I don't know where it is. Over here? I think it was over here where it was coming out onto the road. Anyway, squirrel! I got distracted from my friend 20 seconds in Thailand with Rob. He always goes off on a tangent. Squirrel! He gets distracted. Me too. I go off on a tangent. Anyway, so we were talking about retirement and what you should focus on. So the first thing is, you know, don't get married, don't have kids, because that will just cause you a lot of financial hardship. It is expensive. Trust me. I've been there. I didn't have kids, but I know how expensive they can be. Forget about it. If I had a kid, there's no way I would have ever been able to leave Canada. I would have had to stay and work, and I'd be dead. I would have had to take life insurance out just to protect my kids, but it would have been awful. People say, you know, my kids are the best thing that ever happened to me, and blah. Of course. Chicken wings are the most delicious thing I've ever eaten, until I have to go to the bathroom the next day. So, but people still keep eating chicken wings, even though they know, spicy chicken wings, even though they know they shouldn't. Now, I'm not saying kids are chicken wings. What I'm saying is, when you look at the big picture, okay, not your individual, I'm not saying anything bad about having kids or being married, okay? Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying the facts, right? If you talk to people who are paying child support, alimony, if they had to do it again, would they do it? You think about it. So the second thing, like I said, is sacrifice. Invest early, invest often. I mean, these are not new ideas. Here's what you need to do when you retire. When you retire, you need to lower your expectations. You are not going to carbon copy your life in the West when you retire in some place like Sri Lanka. I have had to suffer. Getting steak is impossible. Getting parts for the car is impossible. Getting consumer electronics is impossible because everything here is imported. And the customer base is just not there for domestic consumption. You're not going to get people buying $2,000 phones or $10,000 televisions. There just isn't a market. So everything's imported, heavily taxed, and availability for repairs is non-existent. Getting a hold of people, customer service, we talked about that. But set your expectations lower than what you are used to in your home country. Then you won't be disappointed when something goes wrong. The other thing when you're getting ready to retire is decide on your lifestyle. Where do you want to live? Now, don't just go by me or any YouTuber or anything you've seen online. What you have to do is you have to go and experience it. I've said this before. Why am I traveling so much? Why am I going to so many different places? Because I'm trying to experience what living there is like and how much I'm going to have to pay to survive there. And do I enjoy the people, the food, the lifestyle in each of these cities, countries? The next thing you got to do is look at the visa situation. I'm going to be talking about buying a house long-term, staying long-term versus short-term renting. I'm going to talk about that in another vlog later. But in my opinion, the cost of a visa, long-term visa, and the savings you will make on a long-term rental balance each other out versus short-term rentals and tourist visas. So 3 months in one country, 3 months in another country, 2 months in another country, 6 months in another country. So I figured it out where I'm going to spend 6 months in the Philippines. Scared of the dog, and the dog's tiny, a little dachshund. Anyway, and I don't want to live in one country for a year and then travel for a week or something like that. I want to spend 2-3 months in a country and then go to someplace new. I'm not looking to settle down. Now, eventually I will, like in probably by the time I'm 70, when I start getting my old age pension, or 65. Not sure when I get, I forget. So I get my Canada pension plan at 60, and I get my old age pension at 65. If I extend it, I can get it at 70 and get a little bit more, but I probably won't. So 65 is 9 years away. So in about 9 years, I'll probably settle down because traveling all the time will get exhausting. And by then I'll kind of figure out where I want to be and what I want to do. Now, in Philippines, I can stay 3 years, but that visa is very expensive. It's like $100 a month. Now that's the cost of living there, but you know, my idea, I have a good friend who lives there. He's married, he lives there. That's his home forever. He's get his marriage visa or whatever, and he's gonna live there. Now I can stay 3 years without having to leave. That will never happen because I'll always wanna like fly home to Sri Lanka or travel a little bit, meet up with Lady Sarah. But eventually, like in 10 years, I'm gonna probably want to settle down. I'll find a nice girl and settle down, have to get married because that's the only way to get a visa, long-term visa. And then, you know, Philippines is incredible. There's so many beaches, like every place is you're no more than an hour away from a beach anywhere in that chain of islands. And the reason they call it the Philippines is because there's tens of thousands of islands, and each one has beaches. The food is good. Everyone speaks English. The infrastructure is just behind Thailand. Comparing Thailand and Vietnam and Philippines, they're about equal when it comes to infrastructure, with Thailand being a little bit more advanced. Philippines, though, still is great. They have amazing internet. I can't believe the quality of internet. The fastest internet I've ever had was there, and it's unlimited. I couldn't believe it. I'm getting the full 1 gigabyte of download speed. It was 980 kilobytes or bits per second. I've never had anything that fast, even in Korea. Korea was like 600-700 was the fastest I ever got. And we had fiber. It was beautiful, unlimited. It was like $60 a month. Then medical. you need to look at your medical. If you were ever to get medical insurance, this is the first advice I'm going to give you, and this you should follow 100%, is do not get dental and vision. You're going to pay more on the premium per month than you ever will spend by going to the doctor twice a year. Okay, you don't need that extra charge. They don't tell you that when you buy it. Get the basic coverage, because these countries have got such good medical care at such a good price that paying out of pocket is perfectly fine. I don't have medical coverage. Standard medical coverage here in Sri Lanka, well, there's two things, right? First off, I could, as a citizen, get the free medical care that is offered to all citizens. I could get that. But that means going to a public hospital, and I've spoken to you about public hospitals. They're not all that great. The second thing is private hospitals here are so cheap. I'm going to do another video about healthcare costs here in Sri Lanka, because I'm going for dental and vision and blood tests in the next month. So I'm going to get deep dive onto the costing of that. And the final thing after healthcare is social. When you retire, you have to not fall into the social trap. Going to the bars, going drinking. If you're, Thailand or Philippines or what have you, going to the red light district, you gotta avoid that, because it's all fake, it's all expensive, and it's all short term. I have friends who have met some nice girls, but I'm not in the bars or what have you, but they found good women who take good care of them. And if that's what you need, then that's what you get. Go for it. But be careful. Take care of your finances. Protect your finances legally. And think about end of life. End of your life and end of your relationship life. Hello, puppy. Such a cute dog. So I guess that's it. Those are the few things that I think are important to think about when you're planning on your retirement, what you have to look out for. All right? You can't just jump on a plane and retire. That's not going to happen. You have to plan. You have to research. And you can't just do it from my perspective or from Google or YouTube. You have to go and physically do it yourself. I mean, obviously research to give yourself like a baseline. But then the individual things you need to figure out yourself. People always ask me, Sam, what does it cost to rent a place? I could do that, but it doesn't mean anything to you because it could change tomorrow. And your lifestyle is different from my lifestyle. So the price could be $100 a month or $10,000 a month, depending on where you want to live. I can't do all of those, right? So, and there's 150 million YouTubers doing the same thing. I don't want to add to that. I'm going to talk about my experiences. Again, guys, I want to say thank you for joining me on this adventure. I'm Sri Lankan Sammy, retired with mom and dad. Learn to live life. Don't let life live you. We'll see you all on the other side.